In the search for intelligent customers, look no further than Kindle users. For one, this group is invested in reading a lot of books. They value self-enrichment through reading. They also know a good deal when they see one, and they're savvy enough to know where the publishing industry is headed. Another positive quality of Kindle users is patience. For example, many are patient enough to endure 3 or 4 years of repeatedly looking at the dead face of Emily Dickinson. Now, in place of Emily and the fish and the birds and the other dead authors are some lovely ads to look at. Some say this is a needed improvement, others disagree. In this short presentation, we're going to explore, with the data we've collected, the unrealized opportunity of the Kindle, and we'll point our way to a powerful new solution.
But first, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Moshe Binyamin. I've been working with computers and technology for over 20 years. I am a global product line manager for a Fortune 500 company responsible for collecting customer and market requirements and setting the roadmap for product development. And most importantly, I'm a father of 3 wonderful boys.
And I'm Dr. Brett Hartman. I've been a licensed psychologist since 1996, specializing in clinical assessment of adults and children. I'm also a writer, a researcher, a husband, and the father of 2 equally wonderful boys.
Every Sunday morning, during our 4.5-mile run, Brett and I get a chance to discuss life's big and little problems. But we're not just talkers, we're researchers, both trained in the value of addressing problems through science and critical thinking. And we both recognize that the Kindle screensaver is at best a missed opportunity. To test our assumption, we designed a pilot study to explore what people think about their Kindles, specifically the Kindle screensaver. And here is what we found. Of the 46 Kindle users we surveyed, 72% chose negative adjectives to describe the screensaver. The top choices were boring and annoying, while only 11% selected positive words like appropriate and educational to describe this feature. Meanwhile, 17% of the respondents selected the neutral word invisible. Let me stress this point. Only 11% thought that the screensaver provided a positive experience, and a staggering 89% did not. This validated our hunch that there must be a better way.
But that's not the whole story. We divided the data and found that the longer a person owned a Kindle, the more he or she was inclined to use negative or neutral descriptors. Specifically, for those who owned a Kindle for 3 months or less, positive screensavers were comparatively high, 38%. But for those who owned a Kindle 6 months or longer, positive ratings dropped to a paltry 9%. That's even worse than our opinion of Congress. Notice the downward trend of positive screensaver appraisals over time. This declining trend makes a lot of sense from the consumer standpoint. As exposure to these images repeats over and over, the novelty wears off, resulting in a state of negative stagnation, boredom, and annoyance. Like a lot of things we buy, the more we see it, the less interesting it becomes. So, even if the book you're reading is totally gripping, the moment you slide the power switch, you get a dose of boredom.
You may be wondering, why is this such a problem? Just ignore it. But you can't easily avoid looking at the screen. In this regard, the screensaver on an e-reader is different from standard computer screensavers, where you can simply save your work and walk away without noticing the screen. With the Kindle, you have to look and verify that the screen has changed so that the novel you're reading is properly tucked away, safe from accidental page turning. So, for that brief moment, you're forced to look at whatever's there.
So this is the problem. It's that transitional moment when you're ready to put down the book you're reading and move on to something else. Your attention is captured, if only briefly, but expectations are consistently low, as shown by the lower line of the graph. A side note, the data we collected did not include Kindles with ads, but given what we know about Kindle users, we expect the low ratings over time to be similar. As pretty as these images are, they're still ads, and unless it's Super Bowl Sunday, ads are usually considered annoying. But what if we could capture and maintain your enthusiasm every time you switch your Kindle to idle mode? In other words, What if we created an experience that would produce a horizontal line instead of a downward slope? So every time you slide that power switch, you feel as if you're opening up a new present.
Our aim is to utilize what we know about software product development, human psychology, and brain research to produce something truly novel and stimulating every time you slide that switch. We're convinced that this program will not only add consistent value to the Kindle, but will also add quality to the overall reading experience. It may even inspire people to download more books. From a business perspective, we believe that this concept will establish a fourth revenue stream. In addition to the revenue from buying a Kindle, downloading books, and selling ads, we envision a new service-based subscription program.
In a world of continuously competitive markets, the addition of our program will help differentiate the Kindle, solidifying it as the top-selling e-reader. We realize that we haven't explained the nuts and bolts of the system, but we'd love to do so. That's why we've created this overview. Call it an invitation. If you'd like to be part of what we believe will be a game-changing program, we'd love to hear from you.
Before we get started, we're happy to inform you that the critical ideas of this concept are protected through the USPTO provisional application process. Furthermore, a novelty search conducted by our attorneys revealed favorable odds of patentability.
In conclusion, if you're interested in learning more about the program and exploring the possibility of a partnership, please contact us today. The smartest customers in the world are ready. Thank you.